Morning everyone. So I've been promising to do one of these kind of videos for probably about 10 years and never really done it for many reasons. I think probably because I'm so obsessed with getting it dead right that I just didn't do it. So I'm going to start doing these videos now and I'm just going to do them in the most relaxed way I can so that my brain can handle it. And I'm just doing it on a board, on a table, in my living room. You might hear background noise. Nothing I could do about that because I'm not in a studio. So forgive me if you can. So we're going to start with the Classicbot Classic. This is the happy version, which comes with an additional miniature floppy and keyboard. Now, I've been a huge fan of these since I first saw them. The guy that creates them, a guy called Philip, is a fantastic human being, and everything he does is just done to such a high standard that you know it's his work. This is the URL. If you want to find out more information, you can go to classicbot.com. Philip's company is Play Some Toys. As you can see, this has got the sticker on that says it's the happy version, although once you see his face, it's pretty obvious why it's called the happy version, really, isn't it? So let's take a look. Now, they always come really tightly packed and they're really great to ship. If you're a reseller, which we are, they're fantastic to ship. And knowing that they're going to turn up and pretty much the chances are they're not going to be damaged is great. Occasionally, the feet will drop out of the main body, but that's by design and they can just be popped back in. So let's get him open and take a look. The boxes are always the same. They're well constructed, they're well packaged, but with minimal packaging. They don't go over the top, there's just enough. Almost elegant with the packaging, which I like because I'm a bit of a packaging freak. Reminds me, I need to change that blade, it's a bit blunt. Okay. So, when you open the box, this is what you get. And I always thought, as a nod, and an accurate nod back to the early kind of iMac range, this little booklet that comes with it is just perfect, and seeing it at the back of the box always makes me smile. It's just thoughtful, and everything Philip does is just thoughtful, and it's given some consideration. The simplest things are explained because not everybody knows everything, and when you know a product as well as Philip does, you want his input, and you want him to tell you as much as he can. But he keeps it simple, doesn't go over the top, but just seeing that image in the back always makes me smile. So here he is, Classicbot. Let's pop this lid off. Slides off nice and easily. And you just take the Classicbot out. He slides out. And you can see straight away how well constructed he is. The arms on the sides are always magnetic, which makes them easy to pose. There's a couple of bits of dirt on there, which is from where I cut the box. But the face, I mean, look at that face. It's adorable, isn't it? The legs are easy to adjust. So you can either have him standing or you can have him sitting. Whichever you choose. And I haven't tried to pop these legs off this model before, so There you go, they just come off, and then you have the desktop model. And you take the magnetic arms off, and that's Classicbot in its purest form. So the Classicbot Classic has been around for a while, but the essential body, the essential shape and the essential components haven't changed a great deal, because it was really, really well thought out in the first place. And it feels like good quality. Let's pop these legs back on. I realise I'm doing this from an awkward angle, which makes it difficult to show the Classicbot Classic at its best, but I'll take some photos to go alongside the video as well. So there's his legs back on, and you can just pop his arms back on as well. I'm going to say this is made from ABS plastic. He manufactures large enough quantities, not massive quantities, but large enough quantities. There you go. But what that does mean is that the models are always consistent, and I've seen, I think, pretty much every model that's been released since the Classicbot Classic was created, and they've always been consistent. The quality's always been there on the main body and on the accessories. So here's the suitcase that comes with Classicbot Classic. This is a font suitcase. So back in the day, the operating system for Macintosh meant that you had something called a font suitcase that contained all of the fonts that you wanted to use on the system. And it's just really funny, really cute that this has been turned into an actual suitcase, which you can pop into the Classicbot's hand. Now this is always a tight squeeze, so we'll give it a go, but it might not go in without a bit of warming. Oh, there we go. I got lucky. Sometimes you have to warm them up a bit, and then the suitcase will go into the hand. Alongside the suitcase is the Classic mouse. Smiley little chap, always there in the background. As a product on its own, it's just a fantastic little product. Well thought through, just the idea of snipping the cable at that point. Every single decision that Philip makes on these products is so well thought through. And it shows that he cares, which is always good. Let's put him there for now. Again, I've done this at a silly angle, but it works for the purposes of this demonstration and this unpacking. Now, inside the box, there's a couple of additions to the Classicbot Classic for this happy version. So let's take those out. They're just taped inside. So let's start with the keyboard. Now this, to me, something I didn't tell you is that I've been using Apple products for printing, publishing and whatever else since about 1986, when I got my first print job working for a Masonic publishers, of all things. That was an interesting time. So I was familiar with Macintosh products for a long time, but particularly this era, when it moved into OS X, it didn't really turn me on anymore, so I moved away from Macintosh products, I'm afraid. But these, I don't know whether they were better or worse when it went to OS X. It just didn't work for me. It was just personal. So they're also a lot more expensive, and I found I was using Windows more and more to do creative work. So yeah, what a detail. The detail is just absolutely stunning. Every little bit of this is perfect. I don't know whether this is a standard keyboard or an extended keyboard. Can't remember, but whichever. It's so well made. So we'll put him down here, put him on his legs, and his floppy disk. Let's take a look at his floppy disk. All right. Again, level of detail, phenomenal. I need to get a new knife, by the way. This one's blunt, but I love it. It's been with me for a long time. In fact, I think it might have been my dad's. So it's something that I'm loath to get rid of. I did buy some new blades, but for some reason, despite being the exact blades, they don't fit. So I'll have to look into that a bit further and see if I can carry on using it. So, lovely smiley floppy disk. There you go. Excuse my hands, by the way. I've been doing a lot of work on 3D prints recently for people like Modern Toss, and I'm constantly grimy and dirty, which I shouldn't apologise for, but some people will look and go, ooh, he doesn't wash, he's got dirty hands. I haven't. It's just working hands, which I can't do a great deal about, I'm afraid. Oh look, there's my tattoo. First tattoo, got my first tattoo when I was 56. Reason being is I found out recently I was diagnosed as living with PTSD, and that's the symbol for PTSD UK, and also happens to be a rune, which is nice. It's not the first of many, it's the only, and it's functional. So there you go. Isn't that adorable? Now I don't know, because I didn't check because I'm a fool, whether this goes into the slots on the Classicbot Classic, or it's supposed to be just on the side, independent. So, being a curious boy, I'm going to see if it goes into the slot. And it sort of does, in that it stays there, sort of, but it doesn't go inside, because obviously it doesn't go inside because that's absolutely sealed up. So it won't. Take a look at the back of this. The detail is just amazing. Again, Philip, the guy who owns the whole shebang, does have a level of fascination with the products that he creates, and everything has to be perfect, everything has to be spot on. He's so proud of what he does, as he should be. So there you go. So let's try and put them all together down here. I'm going to rip his arm off. Enjoy that far more than I should. I'm going to take the front suitcase off and pop his arm back on. There you go. Didn't hurt, did it? And let's put these bits to the side. So this is the Classicbot Classic Happy version, which comes with the miniature floppy and keyboard. And as always, the eye for detail, the level with obsession, perfect, absolutely perfect. So we have these online at toyart.co.uk. We always get as many Classicbots as we can, whenever Philip could send us, because we absolutely adore them. But if you don't want to buy from us and you want to see what else is available from the Classicbot range, you can go to classicbot.com and take a look there. So this is the first one. I'll put it online. I'll let you all give me some feedback, and we'll decide if you want me to do this again. There is another product that I have to look at very soon. It's not a toy art thing, it's a badge maker, which has been sent to me by to look at by a company called eBadges. But I've put that through the toy art channels anyway, because I think a lot of you do create badges, do create merch for yourself, and I think you might find it useful to see how simple that is to use. So that'll be the next one. Right, speak to you soon. Thanks for your time.